How you doing, brother? What we doing today? We getting rid of that sponge?
No, I came for the eyebrows.
Yo, what's up, y'all? We're back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Street Fighter Guile. Not sure which version of Guile this is supposed to be, but they're calling it Outfit 2, which is kind of interesting because we have not seen Outfit 1. In any case, I'm liking this color scheme a little bit more than that Outfit 1, which I'm guessing is the bright green colors. A little too bright for me. So it looks like Bandai's continuing their Street Fighter line. Not sure how deep they're going to go, but I got mine from Army. It is currently sold out, so it's good to see enough people still support the figures. And I said it before and I'll say it again.
Man, I love being a turtle.
The other thing I'll say again is we need more Street Fighter figures. I'm a casual fan of Guile, more so Charlie, but if there's one thing that connects us is how everybody plays Guile. We all know what it is, that good old bait your opponent into jumping towards you and then you hit him with a flash kick. It's sweet. I'm all in with the Figuarts Street Fighter line, so it didn't even occur to me I had the option to not get it, but my first impressions fooling around with them straight out the package was kind of neutral actually. There were three things that immediately popped out. One might be subjective, and that's these chunky thighs. Like, this guy's got a kind of a funny shape to him. I think his torso is kind of small in proportion to his legs. Not quite that Guile aesthetic. I mean, I could get over that, but then I noticed the face. While I appreciate the sculpt work and the details for it, I think they went a little heavy for his age. He looks a little old, maybe malnourished. The furrowed lines for it is really pronounced. I kind of wish they went a little lighter on that, and I wish they would have added some type of color variation for his skin. Like, his eyes get lost in that detail a little bit for his complexion. I do like the color they chose for his eyes though. It's like a greenish gold. It does pop, and then I noticed the same at his hairline. It's not as fluid as I would have liked it to be. Two parts for the face and hair. The faceplate pegs upward into his fro, so you do run into that problem where you're posing around the neck and then the face starts to pop off. Maybe it's just me. I'll go back and check the source material, but I always thought Guile only had the flag tattoo on one shoulder, but I guess he's got it on both. That boy is committed. The other thing I noticed is this is not so serious, but the sculpt work they did for his wife beater, or I guess his tank top is what they call it these days. People are kind of sensitive, but the sculpt work for it doesn't quite tell me that the material is of that cotton type of material. It's a lot of wrinkles for it, and it's a little heavy on the ab work. And lastly, the other thing I noticed is the shading around his body is not very consistent. Like, you got some heavy shading going around the arms and the chest, the neck area, but when you get to the hands and the face, there's no shading on it, so it is a little jarring. You can notice some veins in the flag tattoo, so I'm not sure how I feel about that, but the paint they did for his dog tags looked really good. Very clean, and the sculpt work looks really good for it. It's just one piece. The camo looks really good too. Nice little detail for that. You can make out some pockets on the side. The sculpt work for that looks a little iffy, but he does got some nice detail on the boots, treads on the bottom of the feet. Now that I think about it, from thigh to crotch area, like that gap right there is a little spacious. Might bother some people. It doesn't bother me that much. I think I'll live. But I do like the wrinkles for it, and that is Guile fro. You can make out the texture, and just like how Soda Toys did their Guile figure, so that's kind of cool. I always wonder how Guile gets his hair to sit up like that. I was gonna make a joke about that movie, There's Something About Mary, but I think I'll leave it alone. You do have some sculpt lines for his hair separation. Shout out to Zero Stig, and it looks like there's another color of yellow in there, but I can't quite tell. So, other than the issues I've already mentioned with the shading and the sculpt work for his face and maybe the elbows, some people might think that looks a little funny when it's thin. Overall, I think Guile looks pretty good. I'm gonna give him an 8.9 for his look. Or your accessories. So Guile here comes with a decent spread of accessories. He does have two different unique hands. I kind of wish they included some alternate sides for those hands. You do have a set of your essential fist hands. That's always appreciated. You have your traffic stop halt hands, or you could also use these hands as if he's petting his bush. And I don't know, maybe I'm tripping, maybe it's accurate to the source material, whatever that is, but I think his hands are kind of big, a little stylish, but I think it's okay. You do have these hands right here you can use to simulate him holding a satellite phone or maybe a walkie-talkie, so I think that's cool. Then you have his signature switchblade rat tail comb here. It looks a little large, but I do like the detail for it. It only comes with this one unique hand for it. I kind of wish they included the alternate side in case you wanted to switch sides from holding the comb. There's a groove in the hand, and it holds the switchblade fairly nicely, so I think that's alright. The peg hole for a switchblade holder hand is actually closer to the thumb, whereas the alternate hands have that peg hole center, so that's interesting. The switchblade is of a harder material, but his open splayed out hands actually have a little flex to it, so that's kind of cool. You do have his yelling face sculpt here, which is my favorite face sculpt. I really like the detail for it. It actually looks like he is yelling, and it doesn't have as many aged lines as I would say his regular face sculpt. I kind of wish his eyes were looking forward, but I think I can work with it. And then you have his stoic face, and a face with a little more of a grimace to it. The ears on the face sculpts do have a flex to it, so you don't have to worry about those ears breaking, so I think that's really nice. And yeah, I think generally these face sculpts do look pretty good. Then you have his energy effect here, his signature sonic boom, and I think it looks awesome. I love the saturation and gradient for it. It's of a harder plastic. I wish the arm for the stand had articulation to it. There's no hinges, so you only get that one position, that one height you can sit him at. so that's really unfortunate. You can tilt the sonic boom effect due to that ball post right there, so that's kind of cool, but you won't be able to get it vertical if you were thinking of doing his flash kick, so that's a little unfortunate. And I do wish there was some type of harness or assembly where you can put the sonic boom effect on his wrist rather than using that cumbersome stance, so it is what it is, I guess. But it's still a nice effect, though it does have some sharp edges, so you want to be careful with that. And here I want to compare the Ryu and Guile boxes. Looks like SH Figuarts is going with one theme here. I kind of wish that was a little more unique, but it's not that big of a deal. So yeah, decent set of accessories. My only complaint is the lack of variety in displaying his effect piece. I really wish that was a little bit different, but overall, I think he comes with a pretty good spread of stuff. Could have used the personal stand, which SH Figuarts does not like to do. He could have used an alternate size for his unique hand, so I'm gonna give his accessories an 8.5. For your articulation, so Guile here has some pretty good range, I would say. He looks up and down a really good amount. You do gotta watch that faceplate because it is likely to pop off, as I mentioned before. Decent side-to-side movement. The arms are a little tricky to maneuver. You got a rotation right there at the shoulder. You have a hinge attached to a ball going into the torso, so you get a circular motion right there. You get a circular motion at this butterfly assembly right there, providing some decent range. That's okay. 45-degree angle at his elbows. I think I'll be okay. SH Figuarts seems to be the only company that does this type of assembly that I'm aware of. That's kind of cool. Universal hinge and rotation at the wrist. I kind of wish the range was better on that. Maybe a bigger ball drain, but it's not horrible. Pretty good sonic boom movement at the arms, and it doesn't look bad from the back. I have not pulled this figure apart, but it appears he's got some ball drains at the torso, so he's got some really good movement going backwards. That is awesome. He's got some really good movement going forwards too. This is the age of the ab punch. Realistically, I'm not expecting a Romanki treatment for everybody, so this is pretty solid. His side to side could use a little bit more work, but it's not that bad. Alright, I take that back. It's actually kind of good. You get a rotation at the top and bottom of the torso, but it's really tight. I'm hearing some clicks, so I wouldn't recommend trying to fully rotate it, but I think you get some decent movement right there. His thigh swivel is actually a little limited. I would think Mayfek side lock, but he does have a rotation at the knee though. That's kind of cool. Nice double joints at the knees. I love to see it. You got some loose toe hinges. I don't love to see that. You do get your full split, so that's pretty cool. You got a rotation at the boot. And then you got some really good ankles. Your boy Guile can get low. Other than the loose toe hinges and the tight torso swivel, I think his quality is actually pretty good. I'm gonna give him a 9 for that. As far as his articulation, it's better than reused in the torso area, so that's actually pretty cool. The only real complaint I have is maybe a little bit more range at the neck. Other than that though, this guy moves pretty solid. I'm gonna give him a 9.5 for his articulation. For your size comparisons, here we have it next to your SH Figuarts outfit 2 Chun-Li, your standard release Cammy, and Akuma. And if you look at the style of the faces with Guile in comparison to the rest of the line, he kind of sticks out. It's a little more toned down. I think it's gonna be a little tricky for me, but I'll be okay. I don't think it's so bad with their SH Figuarts Sagat face-wise, but man, they were all messed up with their scale. And Sagat's supposed to be much taller than Guile, much taller than Bison. And then we have him next to the exclusive Paul Mart Jada Toys Ryu. Next, here we have it next to your Romanki and Cow male body, and then we have it next to Hasbro Classified Series. And lastly, here we have it next to your random Mattel dude and your Kotobukiya Zero model. Final thoughts on the SH Figuarts Street Fighter Outfit 2 Guile. The more I fool around with this guy, the more I like him. He moves pretty good. It comes with some decent spread of accessories. Aside from the issues that I did point out, he's a pretty solid figure, and I would recommend him. Hoping SH Figuarts goes even deeper with this line and gets a little more consistent in pumping these figures out. Still all in with Jada, but I'm all in with SH Figuarts too. The more the merrier. Final score, I'm gonna give this guy an 8.9. The lack of shading around his hands and his face does kind of bother me a little bit. Alright y'all, that's the video. You like the video, hit the thumbs up. If not, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.